What is up, Retro Maniacs? Welcome to Short Prints, or short videos about random topics. And today, all three of us have chosen two questions to ask each other and discuss. Joe, get us started.
All right. So I mentioned this last night when we were texting. So I'm going to start off with this one. Would you rather have a low grade but high end card, or would you rather have a high graded low end card in your collection?
Go ahead, EP.
EP?
Oh, you.
Yeah, this is definitely my kind of question. This is where I live. I think I would, whichever one would have the most resale value, so probably a high graded low end card, because I wouldn't want to keep it anyway.
I mean, it doesn't have to be $1,000 card. I mean, it could be a $500, $400, $300 card, whatever you consider.
Yeah, but again, like if it's graded and it's worth a lot of money, I'm probably selling it. Like I as long as the card's centered, like really the number grade doesn't really matter to me. If it's for my PC, look centered well, and doesn't look like a dog shoot on it. But if it's centered well, I don't really care that much about the corners and the edges and stuff. So,
okay, fair enough. I think I would choose the lower grade high dollar card. I'm thinking in terms of like vintage, it might depend on what kind of era we're talking about. If it's a brand new card, are we talking about an 8? Well, then I still think I would rather have like a new 8 instead of like a newer 10 on a lower card. So I think I'll go with the lower grade on the higher value card.
So for me, the reason I asked this question was actually a springboard from our last pod where we were talking about stuff we were looking for the National. And I mentioned I would like to get a 2000 SPX Tom Brady rookie, which is a high dollar card. But if I can find one that looks nice, like EP described, in a lower grade, I'm all for that. So I'd rather have that card than a PSA 10 in something kind of mid-ranged or even low end.
Good. All right, EP.
Okay. Let's say you get, I was going to say a Grail card, but let's say, Mike, for you, 1952 Topps, Joe, 2000 SPX football. You get a case gifted to you. It's worth a bazillion dollars by itself. Do you break it open and rip it, or do you keep it, or do you sell the case? What would you guys do?
Now, do I have to either leave it all sealed or open it all?
Well, I mean, once you crack the case, like this case is cracked open, but we're talking about the case itself. If you whatever you do after you crack the case is, I guess, up to you.
I mean, ideally, I would like to open some and sell the others, but if I had to either keep a sealed case or open it up, I think I would keep it sealed, because in my case, it's the rarity factor. Like, there can't be many 1952 Topps baseball cases or boxes or packs or anything out there. Right. So I think the rarity of it, like, I would, as much as I'd love to know what was in it, I feel like I would almost feel guilty if I opened it. So I'm going to say I'm going to leave it that way.
For my example, the 2000 SPX, I would just play the numbers game that Brady wouldn't have a rookie in every box. I mean, he might not even have a rookie in the entire case because they were all short printed. I think you only got a couple rookies in a box, maybe only one, to be honest. So for me, I would leave it sealed, and I would most likely, if it was gifted to me and it's all profit, it would be on Golden Auctions the next day, without a doubt. And then I would take the money I got from that and buy a Tom Brady SPX rookie in a slightly higher grade than a PSA 5, whatever I can actually afford now.
I know for me, 1952 Topps baseball, if I had a case of that, it'd be so hard for me not to at least open one box, right? I sell a couple boxes for sure, but man, to have a case and not open it and not just open a box right now in 2022, like that'd be incredible. That'd be awesome.
Yeah, would be fun. Be a lot of fun. You could rip it for the channel. I mean, you'd never get it done, but you could rip it for the channel. All right. My first question. Here's a tough one for you. Do you guys think that Fanatics will end up buying Panini before they take over all the licenses?
That's a good one. Well, I'll tell you what, we just talked about this on the pod. I think they should before Panini takes the entire hobby down with them, right? So, like you mentioned on there, Mike. So, I think when's the license expire? Is it in 2 years?
2025, I believe.
Okay. Yeah, I think at this point, if I'm Fanatics, there's a lot of great IP that Panini owns. If I'm Fanatics, I try and do it before Panini causes any more irreparable damage to the hobby. So I'm going to go out and say yes, they do.
Okay, EP.
I think maybe not. I think they wait and get the good price after Panini's done and they can't do anything. I think that they could do that. They could wait, and I think Panini I'm not sure where Panini's head's at, but I don't think I think probably Panini would be charging too much for it. Maybe I think they probably might ask too much for their properties, and maybe if Fanatics stands their ground, maybe that's my take. I think Fanatics stands their ground. And they don't.
Okay. I mean, I didn't bring this up during the podcast because I actually wanted to get your opinions on it here. Because it makes me wonder, like we were talking about Panini and what in the hell is going on with them. And like, it makes you wonder, like, is this part of their plan? Maybe cause a little turmoil, maybe make the Fanatics think that, oh, maybe we better just buy them before they hurt the market that we're going to own in a couple of years. Like, yeah, that's a crazy out there idea, but I don't know. Again, I talk about non-zero probabilities. Like maybe that is part of a business plan. Like they're going to just print and don't care about stuff and think maybe that Fanatics will see us doing this. Maybe they'll consider making us a fair offer now so we don't have to just, worry about what we're going to do when they take the license. So I don't know. Like I know Sports Card Dad had also brought up like about them with the redemption cards and stuff, kind of like house cleaning and getting those off the books and stuff. Like he was speculating whether that meant that, a different topic than what I was saying, but like maybe they're getting some things in order because maybe something is in the works. So, I mean, I think Fanatics has already spent a lot of money. Why not just spend a little more and dive in now instead of waiting? Like, don't let another company potentially hurt the market that you're going to like. They're totally going to be owning almost the entire sports card market. So, they have a lot to lose if what the company that has control of it now, if they do damage to the hobby. So I don't know, just interesting question, but I think they might end up buying them too.
Yeah, I could see it. For my second question, it's kind of a two-parter. So what year do you guys feel that innovation in the hobby, you could say, ended or was at its peak? And what company was the most innovative at that point? I think we're all going to be circling around the same, but I'm curious to hear what you guys say.
I think like when I think about it, I think of like 97, 98 Stadium Club, like all the inserts and stuff. Like they just had like this crazy number, and like Clear Ultra, like they just had these crazy number of cool inserts and all this like stuff going on and really cool cards, good cards. And I feel like that for me was like the peak and some of the two better companies that were doing it.
Yeah.
So like 90s.
I would agree. I would say definitely the late 90s. Pretty much, everything, we've talked about this many times too. Everything that's popular today by, 98, 99 was already created. You have the chromium cards, you have refractors, you have numbered cards, you have, different colored cards with different numbers. So
cards in a can.
Much cards in a can. Absolutely. But yeah, I mean, there isn't a whole lot like that's popular now that wasn't already created by the late 90s. So I would say that. And part two. I mean, all the companies were really innovative. We talked a lot about Pacific, and Pacific was very innovative, but they also had a lot of flops and a lot of things that didn't stick. So, Upper Deck was very innovative. Donruss was really innovative too. They did a lot with the numbering of the cards and like different, colored parallels and stuff. So I have a really hard time pinning down one specific company for like in terms of stuff that was innovative that actually stuck. I might go with Leaf. Donruss Leaf.
Yeah. So for me, it's 98 to 2000. I think we're all in the same. And one thing you didn't mention, Mike, was RPAs. That rookie patch autos. That was something that started in the late 90s, early 2000s. For me, you mentioned them, Pacific. They threw everything at the wall, and whatever stuck, they did. And they, say what you will, there's still product that Leaf or that Pacific made. Mike's showing off some Pacific right now. I mean, there's
Pacific Cube. Yes,
it was from Aurora,
right?
Aurora?
I believe so. Yeah.
They just every set they had was it was something different, something innovative, and stuff that's still around today. You have the Crown Royal, the die cuts, you got Prism, the real Prism. Like there was just a bunch of stuff. They have ornaments in their packs, for God's sake. So yeah, for me, it's the late 90s, early 2000s, and it's Pacific.
EP, did you pick a company? I don't think you did.
I did. I mean, I said the Stadium Club and Fleer Ultra, like those two. But when I think of innovative inserts, like innovation, like that sort of stuff, for some reason I think of like the triumvirate inserts from Stadium Club, like the laser cut, like it was so crazy to pull one of those and see some of the stuff that was in it.
That was innovative at the time.
Like
the connecting cards.
Yep, to me that was kind of like, and then that was kind of like that's not the only one, like we said, but it was kind of like an example of that era of those couple of years of everything.
Okay, your next question.
All right, so this is card adjacent, at least. So we're all at the national, right?
Okay.
We're wearing our nice Mike's retro trading card shirts. Somebody walks up to you and says, "I'll give you $100 to swap shirts with me." However, this person is clearly 2 shirt sizes less than you. Or maybe what would it take for somebody to say, "We got to swap T-shirts"? What would $100?
Not doing it. Not doing it.
I'll do it right there. $100. Yeah, sure.
I'm not doing it.
How
No
much did the shirt cost, Mike? You paid for the shirts.
I don't know. They were like $25-$30.
Okay, I'd say $130. That way I get $100 profit and I can buy a new shirt. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Absolutely. I'll do it right there in the center. I'll do it right there at PSA's booth.
No
I'll rip
way.
the shirt off.
No.
I don't care. Look at the people that are going. I'm sure we're not the worst in that group. I can take my shirt off. I will
That's
be
fair,
very
yeah.
comfortable in that.
It's a good point. Yeah.
Easily
not doing it,
$100.
Yeah,
for sure.
No,
I'm not
doing
You'll
it.
do it.
I'm not doing it either. But I figured Joe would consider it at least.
I mean,
I don't think I would do it.
Everybody there is also going to have their phones out, and they're going to be able to take pictures and post them on Instagram and
Can
Twitter
you imagine?
and everywhere else. I am
We
not
need
doing that.
subscribers.
Well,
I'll pay for
I'm
my
more than
test.
happy for you to do that. I will buy you a shirt that's too small, and I'll give you $100 to wear it around.
Okay.
Okay,
I am
deal.
not a prideful man.
So make sure to look for us at the National so you don't miss Joe Day in a shirt. that's
Joe
2
Day and a
sizes
halter
too
top.
small. Oh, that's fantastic. All right. Well,
DP,
I'm gonna.
What'd you say? Would
He
you
said-
do it?
I wouldn't do it. No way.
You're the only one, Joe. Yeah, you are the only one. Of
Not
course.
targeted.
I mean, if it was something
Anybody who
ridiculous, like
knows
$1,000,
Joe, yeah,
like was it something ridiculous, $1,000? Like you can't. I mean, you can't
I
turn
wouldn't
that
do it
down,
for
right?
$1,000.
You wouldn't do it for $1,000?
Wow.
No
For a
way.
Mike Lutz,
No.
baby.
No, I have-
Come on.
I have
Look
my
at those slabs
pride.
behind him. Look at those slabs behind him. Just
Yeah, those
see
slabs
stacks of
Yeah.
slabs.
Yeah, I can't be bought. I cannot be bought. No. All right. So I'll wrap things up with a serious question for you. Do you guys think that if a true artificial intelligence grading company is able to enter the market, I'm not talking HGA, I'm talking about a real system that you can have the AI look at a card and it can give you a consistent grade every time. Do you think that that company would be able to take over the grading card market?
No, not even close.
No.
I think people could care less about how consistent a grading company is, or more people would submit with CSG and SGC. I mean, at the end of the day, people care about that red, the red label, the PSA lighthouse, and how much they can get for it. It could be the perfect AI, the perfect grading company that perfectly consistently graded everything perfectly, and people would still buy PSA slabs because that's what they are trained to do.
And you can show them video proof, and you can do, you can have all the proof in the world, but there's some people like, oh, I don't believe in that kind of crap. There's no way. That doesn't work. There's gonna be people still doing that.
Did you see they misprinted this label out of the millions that they did? They misprinted this label one time ever, and now they're ruined. They're done. I mean, that's what it would turn into.
Yep.
The PSA fanboys would be out in full force defending that.
They would be, unfortunately. I think you're probably right. I would like to think that it would own a segment of the market. Like, I think it would probably be more detrimental to CSG and Beckett and SGC, obviously, than PSA. But I think there are people out there that care about what the actual grade of the card is. They're just
Nolan from Elite
greatly in the minority out there. Yeah.
I think the three of us would appreciate it.
Yeah.
The three of us would.
I think there would be a market, but yeah, I think you guys are also right that it would never take over the market. Like people, you said it, they're not sending a card in to PSA because they care if it's a 10 or not. They want it to be a 10. So if you got a 10 on a card that you thought was 9, people aren't going to say, no, I'm not going to sell this like a 10. They're going to sell it as a 10 because it says it. So yeah, I agree with you there, but I would like to think there would be, maybe a little bigger segment of the hobby that would, gravitate toward that service if it were available. But like I said, it would probably just hurt the other smaller grading companies. So
the one thing I will say on this is, and I was going to mention it on my PSA reveal video, but it's funny, 2 of our favorite content creators who we think are really, really smart in this hobby absolutely love SGC and absolutely love CSG because of their consistency. Nolan from Alico 3 and then Chris from Collector Investor Dealer. He just posted a CSG video and he's like, I'm going to start using these guys more because they're very, very consistent. So it's kind of funny that the people who we respect in the hobby absolutely would use these on their grading companies and would probably use this AI grading company too. But they get drowned out by just the thousands and thousands and tens of thousands of people who just say PSA is the best no matter what. I don't care.
Okay, guys, good chat, and we'll be back next week. Take care, guys.
Adios.
See you guys.